Good evening, and it's Bank Holiday Sunday, and I've just realised I've been out for a beautiful meal with my family, excuse me, and then I went and met my friend Mark, who's here at the moment, but he's just disappeared for a minute. Had a few drinks, etc. But we went and had a couple of drinks in a place called Earlsdon, which is in Coventry, which is quite a nice part of Coventry. There aren't many of them. Anyway, when we were leaving, we went to the shop to go and buy a bottle of gin because we wanted to have a gin and tonic when we got home. And there was a girl called Lisa who was sat there. She was homeless, and I just went and sat with her, bought her some cigarettes, gave her some cigarettes. We both had a fag together, and I just asked her what had happened really with her life. And her life is, she's only been homeless for a year, and she was with some arsehole that beat her up, and it was all the abuse stuff. And so she was just telling me all about that, and I then went on to ask her about how, what her next plan's going to be. And she said she didn't really know, but to get somewhere to live or to get a hostel, excuse me, costs about 22 quid a night. And she was talking about the fact that she hadn't had a shower in God knows how long. And she was thinking about cutting her hair that actual day because it was that minging. So I just said, well, how much is it for a room tonight? 22 quid. She goes, I've already got 6. And I was like, okay. So I was waiting for my mate Mark to come back. And I just said, well, fuck it. I said, I'll go to the cash point and I'll get you some money and you can go in, get a room, get a shower and wash your hair. And she was so appreciative. I'd already recognised her because I did a homeless thing for the first time. I've been promising myself to do it for years and years and years, but I did it literally Christmas just gone. And she turned up where I was. Didn't speak to her at the time. But while I was sat there chatting to her tonight, I knew she wasn't high on drugs. I knew she wasn't pissed. We just had a conversation, and she didn't really know what her plan B was. She just said, well, I've got to get a bank account, and then once I've got that, then I can do something else. So there was part of me thinking, oh, she can just come home with me and she can have a shower here and all the rest of it. But then there was another part of me thinking, well, no, I can give her some money. She can go to the hotel for 20 odd quid and she can have a lovely night to herself, shower, wash her hair, do the starfish in bed, whatever, and just chill out. So that's what we did. And then Mark had gone off, came back in a taxi. He's like, what's going on? I was like, it's fine. We're going to drop her off at the hotel. So that's what we did, excuse me. And then we've ended up coming back to mine for a gin and tonic, basically. And then I came home and found out that my son is still in my car. So bless him, he's not been very well today because it was self-inflicted and he was hungover. And he'd also sunburnt himself to the point where he got blisters on his face. But I came home and my car wasn't here, and so I FaceTimed him and he's like, well, I just came out for an hour with the boys. I'm like, no, you don't come out with my car and don't ask me. And he's like, well, I didn't have any petrol. Anyway, it's all bullshit, but I don't even know why I'm sharing that part of it because that's irrelevant. But Mark's here and it's completely put me off my kilter. Mark, is there anything you want to say?
I think you've covered it all, to be honest with you. I can waffle on for about 5 minutes. But anyway,
well, you were that quick in the loo. I was like, oh, anyway, right.
When it comes to the loo, I don't mess about.
Anyway, so I think the point of the share really... Okay, I know what I want to say. So me and Mark have become friends for about the last 4 months. We met just before Christmas, and we dated a little bit, and Mark has got a situation where he's got a beautiful 4-year-old boy, and his ex is not exactly being the nicest person she could be. So he's now going through a horrific time in trying to get access back to his boy. And I think when we met, we met as, I don't know, it was just casual acquaintances. Then we went and had a couple of drinks. We got on. We had a good time.
You thought I was a bit of alright?
I thought he was a bit of alright, and then I found out more about his situation, and then we have talked about that a lot. And he then basically went off and just took legal action in the end because his ex is just not stable. And every so often she just says, fuck you, you're not seeing your son, which is bullshit, right? So he's now trying to take control back of his life and trying to take control back of seeing his boy. And we've created this friend. Come and say hello, because I'm talking about you and they have no idea. Just come and say hello.
No, I'm alright for a minute.
Literally, I've only got 140 followers.
That's alright, it doesn't matter. I've got 3,000. It's not about that.
Anyway,
But
so
you're doing really well, actually.
so we've become really good mates, and he's going through a real hard time, but he's keeping strong. And on the back of all of that, he now wants to help other men that are going through the same situation. And I didn't know. Mark told me because he's done his research. 21 men a month, is it?
21 men a week.
A week, sorry. 21 men a week are committing suicide that are denied access to their children. And the men that are doing this are good men. They're men that really want to do the best thing by their children. And okay, the relationship between them and the mother might not have been perfect, because none of us are, but they still want to do the best by their kids, but they're being denied access. And the law in this country is so toward the woman. And I get it to a point, because there are a lot of arsehole men out there, but then there are a lot of arsehole women out there, which I'm beginning to really appreciate. So it's people like Mark that are having to go through this shite and really make a stand. And now he's employed a fantastic solicitor that's hopefully going to really help him shorten the distance between him actually getting to see Connor, rather than it being 6 months. Hopefully it'll be a month, for example. But there are other guys out there that don't have the support that he's got. He's got a great family around him. He's got great friends around him, and he's able to talk to people. And these guys don't have that. They don't have anybody to help them, and then they end up like hanging themselves or slitting their wrists or whatever it might be, because they don't feel like there is a plan B. They don't even know that there's a plan B, whereas Mark knows that he will eventually get to see his boy again. And his boy absolutely idolises him. Excuse me. So what I wanted to share was, even though he's going through a shit time right now, he's already thinking about how he can make other men's lives better because of his experiences. And how amazing is that? Because that's what life's about. You've got to pay it forward. And that's what I did tonight with this girl that was sat on the street and hadn't washed her hair in Christ knows how many weeks. And that's what Mark wants to do with these men that are literally about to end their own life. So if you feel that way, or if you know anybody that feels that way, talking to them is the very, very, very least you can do. It costs you nothing, and it fucking means the world to them. So just do it. And as always, if you want to reach out, I'm here. So see you on the next one. Bye.